Hello everyone, my name is Gvidas and welcome to my WordPress and Elementor course. In this course I will teach you how you can easily create your WordPress blog using Elementor. If you are a beginner and you don't know how everything works, don't worry, because I will explain to you everything you need to know in this step-by-step course. You will learn where to get your domain name, how to set up your hosting, how to use WordPress, how to create pages using Elementor, how to use a WordPress text editor, and much more. As well, at the end of this course I will share with you some search engine optimization tips for beginners. But that's not all, because I will show you how to use Google Search Console and Google Analytics. These two things are very important if you want to have a successful website. As you can see right here, this is how our finished product is going to look. I created this blog using Elementor, and by following my lessons, you will be able to create a similar website. Of course, the whole customization part will be up to you so that you could create your unique looking WordPress blog. Once you have strong foundations, you know how to use themes, plugins, and Elementor, your customization options will become limitless. If you will face any problems or have any questions, you can join WordPress Explain group, and members of the community will help you with any issues. So if you're ready, we can start the course. Alright, so first things first, for our WordPress website we are going to need hosting. And once you land at hostinger.com, scroll down until you see all available plans. Just choose the plan which fits your needs the best, but for this course I'm going to use premium shared hosting, because with this hosting I'm going to get unlimited number of websites, email accounts, bandwidth, and with this hosting plan I'm gonna get free SSL certificate with a domain name. So let's click add to cart. From here choose your hosting package. I'm gonna keep it to 12 months. Right here you will be able to create your account, select the payment method, and as you can see with this hosting plan we are going to get free domain name and SSL certificate. Also don't forget to apply coupon code HA10 to get 10% discount off your purchase. From here the checkout procedure is pretty much the standard one, so I'm gonna move on to the next part of this tutorial. Once you finish the checkout and you log into your Hostinger account, you should see something like this. So let's start by setting up our hosting. Let's click setup. Let's click start now. And as you remember, we got a free domain name. So right here we can claim our free domain name. Let's click select. Right here enter your desired domain name and click search. I highly recommend you to choose .com because it's the most popular one and the most recognizable. For this course I'm going to use XYZ, but like I said, I highly recommend you to choose .com. Just enter the domain name, click search, and let's click continue. Let's select build a new website and let's choose WordPress. And right here you'll have to enter your email address and set a password. You will use those credentials to log into your WordPress dashboard. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Once you have finished doing this, let's click continue. As you can see right here we can choose a template for our WordPress website, but I will show you how to create your WordPress website from the scratch. So let's click skip I don't need a template. And let's click finish setup. It might take a couple of minutes until the setup is complete. Alright, perfect. Our website is ready, but before we go and visit our website, let's install SSL certificate. So let's click manage site. As you can see right here, we got this message that our domain name is not registered yet. So before we can install SSL certificate, we have to finish domain registration. So let's click finish domain registration. And right here, you will have to enter your details like first name, last name, address, city, and so on. So just enter all the needed information. And once you have finished doing this, just click setup. Alright, from here, we can go back to our control panel. As you can see, the status of our domain name is active. So let's go to hosting. Let's click manage on our website. And now we can install SSL certificate. So let's scroll down until you see SSL. Right here, let's select it. And right here, you will be able to install your SSL certificate. So let's click setup and let's click activate. And all we have to do is just click install. And as you can see, the SSL certificate was installed successfully. And if your SSL certificate fails to install, it usually happens because your domain name registration hasn't finished yet. It usually takes about 2 hours. So wait a little bit of time, let's say about 1 or 2 hours, and try installing SSL certificate one more time. And you shouldn't face any issues anymore. Alright, so we successfully installed our SSL certificate, and from here we can go ahead and visit our website. If you did everything correctly, you should see this gray padlock next to our domain name. It indicates that our connection is secure and our website has SSL certificate. In this lesson, I would like to walk you through the most important HPanel settings. I understand that from the first glance it might look a little bit confusing because there's like a lot of settings available, but I will show you the most important ones and which you might use in the future. So let's start with the WordPress section. Let's go to the dashboard. And right here, probably one of the most important settings is force HTTPS. If it's inactive, you should activate it, because this way we will force our website to load with secure connection with HTTPS. The next setting, flush cache, basically this setting controls the plugin, which was already pre-installed to our WordPress, which controls cache settings. Basically this plugin helps our website to load faster, and you can access all these settings in the WordPress panel. Later on I will show you how it's done, and from here we can move on to plugin section. Also, you will be able to access all plugins in your WordPress panel, but it's very convenient to have this option right here, because let's say in the future when you install a plugin, or let's say you update plugins, suddenly your website doesn't load, it starts to crash and you're getting error messages. So probably that means that this issue was caused by a plugin which doesn't work with your WordPress version, or there could be other reasons. But by going right here in the plugin section, you can easily deactivate that plugin and you can fix this issue. So let's go back to dashboard. In order section, probably one of the most important settings would be upgrade. So let's click on it. So let's say once you start getting more and more traffic to your website, or you have installed so many plugins that your website doesn't have enough resources to work properly, from here you can easily upgrade your hosting. You can choose a shared hosting plan, or you can use cloud hosting plan. Of course, if you want, you can choose VPS, but it's way more complicated than shared hosting plan or cloud hosting plans. So from here, once you click on view plans, you will be able to choose a more powerful plan. So this way you will solve the problem of a slow loading website. But when you are starting out, you shouldn't face any issues. So let's go back to dashboard. In account section, you can check your details, you can change your password. We can move on to email section. So later on in another lesson, I will show you how to create your business email. So right now we can skip this section. In domain section, by clicking this option, you can add more websites to this hosting plan. So let's click right here. And as you can see, by adding your domain name and selecting password, you can add as many websites as you wish. Basically, when we were purchasing our hosting plan, it said unlimited, we can host unlimited number of websites. So basically from here, you can add as many websites as you want. So for example, added one website for demonstration. So once you added a website, you can switch between websites by going right here and choosing the domain name which you have added. So as you can see, I have WordPress course and I have this website Goku Planet. So let's go back to dashboard. For example, once you switch from one domain to other, let's say I'm going to switch from WordPress course, which is being displayed right here. Let's say I'm going to choose Goku Planet. So as you can see, once I switch to other domain, I'm doing changes to this domain. So it's being displayed right here. And if I would decide to install WordPress, I would be doing changes to only to this domain. So let's go back to our WordPress course and let's see other settings. So now you are familiar with domains, and with the website section, basically we can use it to install content management system like WordPress. So once you go to auto installer, you will see available content management systems which you can install to your website. So as you can see right here, WordPress course has a WordPress, and here are some other content management systems. But since this course is all about WordPress, I will be talking about WordPress. But for example, once you add a website, once you add another website to your hosting, you can switch this website right here, as I mentioned you before, by clicking to another domain. And by using auto installer, we can easily install WordPress to this domain. So we would have to click on the WordPress, and from here we will be able to install WordPress to our website. But since we have already installed WordPress to WordPress course, we can switch back to WordPress course and we can go back to the dashboard. So let's scroll down. So you are already familiar with this section. So as I said, probably one of the most important settings which you might use is auto installer, and we can go to files section. So basically you can use this section to access all your files. You can access plugins, themes, themes, media files, or even WordPress files itself. You can do this in two ways: by creating FTP accounts, so you would have to use such program as FileZilla to access your files using FTP account, or you can do the same by clicking right here. Once you click right here, you would have to go to public HTML. And right here you can see all of your files. So basically these are all files which create your website. So here you will find plugins, themes, WordPress files itself. So basically you can download plugins, you can upload, you can delete them, or you can basically delete all of your files. And yeah, this is how you can access your files. So we can go back to the dashboard. As well, in file section you can do backups of all your files, and from here we can move on to databases. So basically your website is created out of two sections. The first section is going to be all your files, and your website has a database where like all information, all settings are being kept. You can access such information as users data, posts, comments, and all other information which is basically a data of your website. So by clicking on database you will be able to see your database, which is being displayed right here. By clicking here you can do a backup of your database, and let's go back to dashboard and let's scroll down, and you can access your database by clicking on phpMyAdmin, and you would have to click enter my phpAdmin, and basically from here you will be able to access your data. So I usually never use this option. I have used it in the past to export all data when I was moving to other hostings. So to do this you would have to download all your files and you would have to export your database. So you could move your website to other hosting, but when you are a beginner probably you will not use this option very soon, but it's good to know where everything is. So let's go back to the dashboard. And now you are a little bit familiar with files and databases. So basically files are all files of your website. It can be plugins, themes, media files, or even WordPress files. And all data is being stored in your database, which can be accessed right here by clicking this section. And you can export it or you can import it. It's completely up to you. So we can move on to advanced section. And as you probably remember, we used SSL section to install our SSL certificate. And probably one of the more important settings is PHP configuration. So by clicking right here, you will be able to change your PHP version. So if it's not set to the latest one, I highly recommend you to choose the latest PHP version, because it's a good practice to keep everything up to date and it will make your website load a little bit faster. So since you are familiar with this information, we can go back to dashboard and let's scroll down and let's see what other settings might be important. And most likely in the section which is named other, you will not be using any of these settings, so I guess there's no point of talking about it. So yeah, these are the most important settings which you might use in the future, and I understand that from the first glance it might look a little bit confusing because there's like a lot of settings, but most likely you are going to use these settings which I already explained to you. So yeah, these are the most important HPanel settings. In this lesson, I will show you how you can easily create your business email. So once you have logged into your Hostinger account and you are in the home section, we have to access our HPanel. So if you not remember how it's done, you should select your hosting and click manage. From here, you should go to email account section, and right here you can create as many email accounts as you wish, because we have premium shared hosting plan and we can create as many email accounts as we want. So let's start by selecting the name of our email. So we can add like support@yourdomain.com. So just gonna add support and just enter your password. And once you have done this, just click create. And as you can see, I just created my email account. It's going to be support@wp-course-xyz. And as you can see right here in the bottom, we can choose other email hosting plan. But for one business email, it's going to cost us $1 per month. Of course, you're going to have a little better looking email inbox, but we can go ahead and access our email and see how it's going to look. So let's go right here. Let's click email. And this is it. As you can see, this is how your email inbox is going to look. It's quite simple looking email inbox, but it's quite easy to use and you can easily receive and send emails. In most cases, it's more than enough. And if you are using a premium shared hosting plan, you can create as many email inboxes as you want. In this lesson, I will show you how you can point your domain name to Hostinger. So when we were setting up our hosting, we were installing WordPress, we were asked to name our website, and we had two options. We could choose a domain name which we already had on Hostinger, or we could choose use an existing domain. So if you had an existing domain, let's say on GoDaddy, you had to choose the previous option. So once you chose that option and all installation is complete, all you have to do is go to your Hostinger dashboard to hPanel and click on details. And in the very first section, you will see name servers. So you want to copy these two name servers, and once you have done this, you should go to your GoDaddy account. And once you are here, go to your profile and select manage domains. So in this section, just select your domain, click right here and select manage DNS. And all you have to do right now is just change name servers. So click change and paste the servers which we copied previously. And once you have done this, just click save. So it can take up to 24 hours for these changes to work. In most cases, it doesn't take so long. And just like that, you can easily point your GoDaddy domain to Hostinger. But let's say you purchased a premium shared hosting plan, and now you want to host another website on Hostinger, and you have a domain name which you have on GoDaddy, for example. You can add another website to your hosting, of course, if you have a premium shared hosting plan. And to do this, you would have to go in domains and click add website. From here, all you have to do is just enter a domain name and select a password. Once you have done this, just click add, and now we can go back to our dashboard. And again, from here, we should go to details and we should copy these name servers. Once you have done this, you should go to GoDaddy, and just like we did the previous time, you would have to go right here and click manage DNS. And from here, all you have to do is just change name servers, paste the name servers which we copied previously, and click save. So again, it can take up to 24 hours for these changes to work, but in most cases, it doesn't take so long. So this is how you can point GoDaddy domain to a Hostinger account. To access your WordPress dashboard, you want to go to your URL right here, and at the end of it, type /wp-admin and hit enter. From here, just enter your username and email address, which we created previously when we were setting up our hosting account and we were installing WordPress. So once you have finished adding your email address and password, you can check remember me and click login. Alright, so before we start adding themes, plugins, content to our WordPress blog, I just wanted to walk you through all the tools which are right here in WordPress dashboard. So let's start with the dashboard and the home section. As you can see in home section, there's not a lot of important settings, just like you can see comments, activity, events which are happening near you. Basically, this section is not very important, but the second section, updates, is quite important. So right here, you will see available updates for your themes, plugins, or even your WordPress. So it's a good practice to keep everything up to date. So once you see available updates, don't ignore them, just update the plugins or themes. And yeah, this is a good practice, so don't ignore these recommendations. Post section is meant for blog posts. So you can check all posts, you can add new, you can create categories, you can add tags. So later on, I will show you how to add new blog posts, how to use WordPress text editor, and all other information. So this section is meant for blog posts, and this section, media section, is meant for your media files like images and videos. So you can add new photos, you can check the library, and once you click, you'll be able to see all your media files right here. And of course, you can add new files by clicking here or there. In pages section, you should keep important information for your users, like as you can see right here, this one was created by default. Privacy policy, such information as about, contact us page. Let's say if you have an e-commerce store, maybe you could add such page as shipping and delivery, other page like returns and refunds. So all these pages which might be important to your visitor should be added here. It's completely different from blog posts. Alright, in comments section, basically you will be able to see all the comments. You can add them to the trash, you can move them to spam folder, you can edit them, reply to these comments. And right here in offer section, you will see who left this comment. Usually there's like a name, so this should be a name. Some people even leave their website address, email, and under the email address you should see an IP address. So in this section you can moderate all the comments. So this section, WordPress forms, this section and that section, these are just plugins. They came came with our hosting. It depends what hosting services you are using. Most of them, they have different plugins pre-installed by default. So as you can see, Hostinger has WordPress Forms, all-in-one WordPress migration tool, and Lightspeed Cache plugin. Appearance section is all about appearance. So from here we will be able to add new themes. We will be able to customize that theme. And in widgets section, basically widgets are like small blocks of information which you can display in various places of your website. Once we install a certain theme, we are going to have even more widgets which we will be using in certain places of our website. In menu section, we will be creating menus like footer menu, main navigation menu, and so on. The background section is not very important because it goes together with customization section, and we will not be using theme editor, because if you are just a beginner and you are starting out, I really doubt that you will ever need to use this section, maybe in the future with a child theme, but not for now. In plugin section, we will be adding new plugins. We can check all installed plugins right here. So as you can see, we have some active and inactive plugins, as you probably saw before in HPanel settings. And yeah, we can use this section to add new plugins, and we will not be using plugin editor, just like we are not going to use theme editor. It's basically these two things are the same. This one is meant for editing themes, and this one is meant for editing code of plugins. So instead we will be using customization settings, and we will not be editing any code ourselves. In user section, we can check all users. As you can see, I'm the only one user right here, so I'm administrator. We can add new users. You can fill up the form and choose the role of a new user, if it's going to be subscriber, contributor, author, editor, or administrator. In your profile, we can do some changes to my profile. We can change admin color scheme, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. Tools section is not very important. You can use it to import and export WordPress settings and basically export personal data, check the site health, but I usually never use this option. Later on, once you install some plugins or themes, there might be added new tools, new sections. So yeah, this section for now is not very important. All-in-one WordPress migration, like I said before, it's just a plugin. This particular plugin is for migrating your website from one hosting to another. This is the plugin you can use to migrate your website. In settings section, later on I will talk a little bit more about all these settings, which are the most important settings. And this section, like I mentioned you before, is a plugin. We are not going to do any changes. This cache plugin helps our website to load a little bit faster for our users, and we are not going to do any changes whatsoever because everything is good by default. So since now you know every single tool right here, we can move on to other lessons. In this lesson, I will show you the most important WordPress settings. So you want to go right here in settings section, and let's start with general settings. In this section, we don't really need to change much, but there's like two important fields, the site title and tagline. So let's give a title to our website, and our tagline should be relevant to our title. All other settings are good as they are by default. They are not very important. If you want, it's completely up to you. You can change date format, time format, and all other settings. Like you can change it. You can even change the site language. So yeah, once you have added your site title and you gave a tagline for your website, just go down and click Save Changes. In writing section, we don't really need to do any changes. Everything is good as it is by default, and we can move on to reading section. Reading section as well is not very important. We are not going to do any changes for now. Later on, I will show you different homepage display settings. So what is the difference between your latest posts option and the static page option. But for now, we can leave it as it is. We don't really need to change anything, and we can move on to discussion section. And discussion section is actually everything about comments. So I know it might look confusing because there's like a lot of different settings, but actually you can leave it as it is by default. You don't really need to do any changes unless you can check this section. So only logged in and registered users will be able to leave comments. And I would say the most important section is this comment blocking. Eventually you will start getting spammy comments. These comments are going to be shown right here in comments section, and yeah, you'll have to delete them, but you can add these comments to block list. Usually when user or bot leaves a comment, there's always added such information as name, URL, email address, and IP address. So if you find any spammy comments, just add IP addresses right here, one IP address or email address per line, and just click save. So right here in discussion settings, this section block list, I would say, is the most important one. We can go to media settings, and in media settings everything is good as it is by default, and we can move on to permalink settings. So this section is the most important of all settings because by default it's set to plain and it doesn't do any help for our search engine optimization. Basically the link is like a nonsense, so you want to change it to post name because you will have better chances to rank higher in Google search results. So once you have changed it to post name, just click save changes and we can move on to privacy settings. And all you have to do in privacy settings, just select privacy policy page if it's not selected yet. So later on I will show you how you can generate your own privacy policy for free, and we will be editing this page which was created by default. We will add our own privacy policy. So if it's not set, just select the privacy policy and click use this page. In Lightspeed cache settings, we are not going to change anything because everything is good by default. And as I mentioned you before, this Lightspeed cache plugin will help our website to load a little bit faster for our users. So yeah, these are the most important settings which you should pay attention when you are creating your WordPress website. Basically, there are only two very important settings. The first one is a couple of fields in general section, and the second one is the most important one, is permalink settings. In this lesson, I will show you how to install plugins and themes to your WordPress website. But before we do that, I would like to explain you the main difference between them. So themes are responsible for the design part of your website. Usually there are paid and free versions, and obviously paid versions have way more customization options compared to free versions. And at the time, you can only have one active theme. For this course, I'll be using theme which is called Astra, and I will show you how it works. And plugins are meant for adding new features and functionalities to your website. Unlike the themes, you can have as many active plugins as you need, and Elementor is going to be one of the plugins which we will use to create our website. So let's start by adding new theme. Let's go to appearance section, let's click themes, and right here you can see all themes which were installed already. So as you can see, we only have one active theme, and to add new, you have to click right here and go to the search bar and type Astra. So this is the theme which we will be using. Just click install. Once the installation is complete, click activate, and as you can see, now we have theme Astra which is active, and automatically this theme was deactivated. So let's go and add a plugin, Elementor. So let's go to plugin section and let's click add new. From here, let's go to search bar and type Elementor. Let's select the first plugin and let's click install now. Alright, installation is complete, and let's click activate. So as you can see, this is the list of our active and inactive plugins. So as I mentioned you before, we can have as many active plugins as we need, unlike themes. Alright, let's go to add new section and let's install other plugin which will be used for our SEO. So you want to type in search bar SEO, and this is the plugin in which we will use, and let's click install now. Alright, click activate, and as you can see, a new plugin was added to our list. Right now we will not do any changes to our SEO plugin. Later on I will show you what are the most important settings and how you can use it. So alright, this is how you add themes and plugins. So the main difference between themes and plugins is that themes are responsible for the design part of your website, and plugins are meant for adding new features and functionalities to your website. Once we have finished installing Astra theme, we can go ahead and check how our website looks now. So let's click visit site, and as you can see, our website doesn't look too good. Actually, it looks quite bad, but don't worry, it looks this way because we haven't done any customization settings. We haven't changed our header, we haven't set the home page, and we haven't done any changes to our footer. Right now our footer doesn't do any help for us because it doesn't have any information whatsoever. And yeah, this is an Astra theme, and I will show you how you can work with it. this theme has both paid and free versions. So with the free version, we will not have as many customization settings, but don't worry, once you learn how to work with a free version, later on, if you will decide to purchase a paid version, a pro version, you will understand how to work with it as well. In this course, I'll be using a free version. So yeah, this is how it looks now. And for example, these are the websites which you can create using this theme. So basically this theme was created to be used with page builders like Elementor, Beaver, and there are some others as well. But in this course we will be using Elementor as our page builder, and you will see it yourself how we can use it to create a nice looking pages. So before we move on to other lessons, I would like to show you how to add one plugin which comes with this theme, because later on we will be using some templates for this website. And let's go back to our dashboard, and as you probably already remember how to add plugins, you have to go right here in plugin section and click add new, and in the search bar enter starter templates. Alright, so this is the plugin which we will use, and click install now and click activate. So this plugin was added to our list, and I will not show how to use it for now, because in later lessons I will be talking more about this plugin, and you will see yourself how you can add templates to your website and how you can use them to create your own website. So yeah, this is the Astra theme. This is how it looks. This is how it works, and you will see it yourself how easy it is to work with this theme. And even though it doesn't look too good right now, but later on you will see it yourself that you can easily create a nice looking website. In this lesson, I would like to talk a little bit about Elementor, what it's meant for and how it works, so you would be familiar with it when we will be using it in other lessons. So right here in WordPress dashboard, as you can see, this is the Elementor, but this is not where we will be using it. This section is meant for doing some settings to this plugin, and since we will not be doing any changes whatsoever, you don't really need to worry about this section. And since this plugin is a page builder, obviously you would have to access it somewhere from here. And to access this plugin, let's click add new page. Of course, I'm doing this just for demonstration. And let's go to this section. Let's click on this button. It says edit with Elementor. So let's click on it. And as you can see, it takes us to this window. And right here, we can create pages using elements. So as you can see right here, we have basic elements. So we have some text like intersection, we have headings, we have text editor, images, we have videos, buttons, and these all other elements right here can be found in this section. So these are the basic elements, the most commonly used. And right here in pro version we have some other elements, but these are meant for pro version, so that means you cannot access these elements with a free version, and you would have to get a pro version of this plugin. So basically, like I mentioned you before, Astra has a paid version as well, and Elementor, this plugin, has a paid version as well. So let's scroll down, and right here we will find some general elements which we can use with the free version as well. So these are all elements which can be used to create a nice looking page. So for example, we can add like heading element to our page, and to do this we would have to drag this element right here, and this is just add your heading. And let's say we could go back to elements, we could drag an image, we would have to click right here, choose an image, and since I have already uploaded some images, so for example we can choose this image. So as you can see, this is how it works, but this lesson is not to be followed. I just wanted to show you how it works and how you can access it. So this is a page builder plugin. We will be using it to create a nice looking pages such as our home page, let's say about page, contact us page, or any other page which you want to add to your website and you want to display it for your visitors. And if you want to leave, all you would have to do is just click right here and exit to dashboard. Let's click leave without saving. So yeah, we are back to our dashboard. So as I mentioned you before, Elementor is meant for building pages. So in later lessons, we will be creating new pages using elements, and I will show you how we can add templates and how we can edit these templates using Elementor. So at the moment, our homepage looks like this, and it doesn't look good at all. But once we finish this lesson, our homepage is going to look similar to this one. As you can see, this one looks much better. We have some different sections, we have some student reviews, we have different options for learning, like you can learn how to use WordPress, WooCommerce. Of course, I understand that your needs might be completely different, but I highly recommend you to follow this guide because you will learn how to use elements and how to work with Elementor. In other lessons, we might use templates, but for this lesson, we will be creating our homepage from the scratch. So to create our homepage, you should go to the dashboard and we have to add a new page, which will be our homepage. So go to the pages and select add new. Let's give a title to our homepage. Let's call it home. And we can start editing this page using Elementor. So to do this, you would have to go right here and click edit with Elementor. Alright, so this is how our page looks now. It's completely empty and we will be editing it with Elementor. So as you probably remember, these are all the elements which we can use. We have pro elements and we have some general elements as well. So let's start by adding a new section to our page, and to do this you would have to click right here. And as you can see, we have different structures available. So we can select like a single layout type, we can select 2 columns, 3 columns, and so on. So let's select the first one, and alright, let's click right here. And as you can see, this section was added to our page. So to do adjustments to this section, you would have to click right here. And as you can see, we have 3 different sections for doing changes for this part of our page. So we have layout adjustments, we have style adjustments, and we have advanced settings. So let's start by doing some style changes. Let's add a background to this section, and to do this, you would have to go right here in style section and let's select background type. So you want to select classic and let's add an image. As you can see, I have some images added to my WordPress website, and if you want to add new images, you would have to go right here, upload files, and you can drag photos in this section, or you can select from files. So alright, let's go to media library and let's select an image. Alright, I will use this image and let's click insert media. Alright, as you can see, it doesn't look too good because this section is too narrow for our image. So we want to do some layout adjustments. So you would have to go right here in the layout section and we would have to change height settings. So instead of choosing default, we should choose min height. Alright, now it looks a little bit better. Instead of choosing pixels, let's choose the second option, and by moving this button we can change the height of this section. So let's move it to the right, and as you can see, it gets a little bit larger, and I guess we can keep it just like that. Yeah, I think it looks good, but as you can see, our image is not being displayed properly, so we have to do some adjustments in style section. So let's go to style section, and first of all we have to do some changes in position settings. So let's select top center and let's change the size of this image. So we want to select cover. Alright, as you can see, it looks much better. Alright, so right now, if we would add some text in this section, in this area, we wouldn't see it properly because basically this image is too bright, and we can set a background overlay for this image. And to do this, we would have to go right here. Again, we are in the style section and we would have to do background overlay settings. So let's click right here and let's select background type. Once you click right here, some options will pop up, and as you can see, we can select color or image. Let's select color and let's choose a black color. Alright, right here we can do some adjustments, opacity adjustments. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it just like this, and basically now we can add some text in this section. So to add text, we would have to go to element section, and to access elements, let's go right here and let's select heading. Alright, just drag it right here and add text. So you can add text right here, or you can add text in this window. So I'm just gonna add some text. Alright, as you can see, our text is not aligned in the center, so we have to do some alignment adjustments. In this section we can do this. Let's align it in the center, and we could change the size of this text by going right here, selecting size, and let's select extra large. Alright, so this is how it looks now. We should change the color because it doesn't look good at all. So to change the color, we will have to go to the style settings and let's select text color. Let's set it to white, and it looks much better. So the next thing which we could add is some text underneath this heading. So let's go to elements and let's select text editor. So just drag it right here under this section, and just like the previous time, you can add text by clicking right here, by entering it right here, or you can add it in this window. So I'm just gonna add some text. All right, as you can see, I just added some text, and again, this text doesn't look too good because the color is not right. So to change color, let's go here and select text color. Let's set it to white, and actually I don't like how wide this text is being displayed, and we could change it by going to the settings of this section. So as you probably remember, to do changes to this whole section, we would have to go right here, click on this area, and let's go to layout adjustments. So in the boxed section, we have to set the width of this box. All right, as you can see, we can do this by moving this bar, and I almost forgot, let's change the alignment of this text. So let's go right here, let's double click on this text, and let's change the alignment by clicking right here. So as you can see, the text is in the center and it looks much better right now. If the image is still too bright, again, we can do changes to it by going right here and by clicking here, style, and let's go to background overlay, and let's change the opacity. As you can see, it looks much better now. So the next thing which we could add is a button underneath this text. So to do this, let's go to element section and let's look for a button. This is it. This is the button which we can use, and let's drag it right here. So we can add a text. So just gonna add courses, and as you can see, we can change the alignment of this text and the content settings. Let's set it to center, and we can change the size of the button. We can set it to medium, and right here for this button we can add a link. Once somebody clicks on this button, that person would go to that link, would visit that link. So let's say once a person clicks on courses, he would go to the page of our courses. So to do that, we would have to add a link right here, but I'm just gonna keep it as it is because we don't have any other pages created yet. But you should remember the location of this section, so you can easily access it once you click edit a page with Elementor, and by clicking on the button you will be able to change the link. All right, let's change the color of this button. So obviously all style settings are done in this section, style, and we can set a background color. By clicking right here, we will change the color of this button. So yeah, this is how our button is going to look now. And I guess everything's fine with this section. Everything looks good, and we can move on and add another section. So the next section could be, let's say, the course of the week. So to add another section, we would have to click right here. So let's add a heading to this section. So we would have to go right here and we would have to select a heading. So we can change the text to course of the week. And let's change the alignment. So let's set it to center, and let's change the size of this heading. So by going right here, we can change it to extra large. And if we will use more headings, more text, the color is going to be blue by default, but we can change it. So next time when we will be adding some other headings, we don't want to have the same color. So to change global settings of colors, we would have to go right here in this section, and let's click on default colors. As you can see, this blue color was selected by default. We can change the color of the text. We can select our own color, and as you can see, this is how it's going to look. Or we can select from other color palettes. So I think it looks good. We can go back to doing changes and adding elements to our homepage. Alright, so right now we could add a section where we will display our course of the week. So to do this, we would have to click right here again, add a new section, and let's select 2 columns. So in this column, instead of setting a background image, we could add image ourselves. So our visitors will be able to click on that image and visit our page, our certain page. So let's go ahead and drag this image right here in this column, and let's select image once you click right here from the media library, or if you need, you can upload image by clicking right here. So I'm just gonna select this image, I'm gonna click insert media, and I think it looks good. So in this section we could add another heading and some information about that course. But before we do that, we should add a link to this image. So let's say once a visitor clicks on this image, he will go to a certain link to a certain page. So to add a link to this page, you would have to click on this image, and right here in the link section, you would have to select custom URL and just type the URL of your link. In this case, I'm not gonna add any links, but I wanted to show you that it's possible to do this, and in case you will need this in the future, you will know how it's done. So just add a link and that's it. And I'm just gonna keep it to none. And in this section, I'm just gonna add another heading. I'm gonna change the size to large. And I'm gonna change the alignment. I'm gonna set to center, and I'm gonna add some text. And we could add a paragraph underneath this heading. So to do this, we would have to go right here and let's select text editor. Just drag it right here. And all we have to do is just paste some text in this section or right here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, I added a list of text. So to add a list, you would have to select the line and just click this option to create a bulleted list. So all right, I think it looks good. And we can add another section, which would be, let's say, student reviews. So just click right here, add another, and let's select this, the first option. Instead of adding a new heading again, we can copy this heading. So to copy this heading, just go right here and click the right button of your mouse, and you can copy or duplicate this heading. So let's click duplicate. And as you can see, now we have two headings, but we can move it to this place. So just by dragging it just like this, we can move this heading right here. So all we have to do right now is just change the text. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna be student reviews. All right, so to add student reviews, I'm going to use 4 columns. So let's add new section of content and let's select 4 columns. So right now we can go to element section by clicking right here, and we can add star ratings, and to find them we would have to scroll down and general section, and right here star ratings. So just drag it right here, and as you can see, it was added. So just change the alignment. Let's set it to center, and right now we can copy this element by clicking the right mouse button, and let's paste the same element to each column. So just click paste, paste, and just like that we will save some time. All right, so the next thing which we could add is the text of review. So let's say somebody left us a good review, and we can include a text underneath the rating. So let's go to elements, and we would have to select text editor. Just drag it right here and just add the text. All right, and it's going to look something like this. So again, we can copy this element. Let's copy it and let's paste in each column. So now all we have to do is just change the text which is in each column, and this way we saved some time. We didn't need to add elements from the list to each column. So this way we can save some time by copying elements and pasting them to columns or in various areas of your page. So the last thing which we could add is something for our visitors. Let's say I will add a section of start learning where people can select what they want to learn. Let's say they want to learn about WordPress, or let's say they want to learn something about WooCommerce. So I'm just gonna add another heading. So as you probably remember, to add a new heading, you would have to add a new section first by clicking right here and selecting this option. All right, so let's add a heading by going right here and let's drag it in this section. So I'm just gonna add some text. And as you can see, it doesn't look good because we have to do some alignment adjustments. So let's change it to the center. And let's change the size of this heading. So let's go and set it to extra large. All right, start learning. So the next thing which we could add is a new section of 2 columns. In each column, we will include different information. So the first column will be for people who are interested in WordPress, and the second column will be for people who are interested in WooCommerce. So let's go right here and click to add a new section, and let's select 2 columns. Let's start by adding a background image for our first column by going right here and clicking on this section, and we would have to go in the style section. Let's click background type, let's select classic, and let's choose an image from our media library. So I have some images uploaded. I'm just gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna click insert media. So right now it doesn't look too good because our image is not being displayed properly, and before we do some changes to it, we should add a heading to this section. So let's add a heading which will say WordPress. So once our visitor clicks on this section of WordPress heading, they will go to a page which will display them WordPress tutorials or other information. So let's go to element section and let's add a heading right here. So let's drag it. I'm just gonna change the text. I'm going to change the alignment. I'm gonna set to the center, and I will change the color of this text. So I'm gonna go to style settings, and I'm going to choose the text color. I'm going to set it to white. All right, so it looks a little bit better, but our image is still not being displayed properly. So to do changes to this section, we would have to go right here on this section, edit column. So by clicking right here, we will be doing changes to the column, and right now we are doing changes to this header. So we want to change the column. So let's click right here, and let's go to advanced settings, and let's change the padding. I guess we can start by entering 150. All right, it looks a little bit better, but it's still far from good. And let's uncheck this option because we will change the padding of these sections. So instead 150, let's set it to 50. And let's do some changes to this section as well. All right, so our heading is positioned in the center. It looks good. And now we could do some margin adjustments. So let's go right here. And once you start doing these changes, as you can see, our image starts to get smaller. So these changes were done in this section. As you can see, the image was resized and moved from the borders. So, okay, it's not finished because the image doesn't look good. So we have to go to style settings, and we would have to change the position. Let's change the position to center, and let's change the size to cover. All right, it looks a little bit better. So right now we could add a background overlay, just like we did for this image. By clicking right here, background overlay, we will be able to add an overlay. So let's click on a classic, and let's choose a color which can be black. All right, it looks much better. And right now we could do some adjustments to our title because it could be a little bit larger. So let's click on it, and as you can see, once we click on the title, we start doing changes to the heading area. So it says edit heading. So let's change the size of this heading by clicking right here, content, and let's select the size. We can set it to extra large, and it's going to look something like this. As well, we could add a link. So let's say somebody clicks on this section, on this title, that person would visit a certain link. For this example, it could be pages with WordPress information, with courses about WordPress or something similar. So you would have to add a link in this section, and that's it. So just paste the link, and you're good to go. So to create another column, we could go ahead and do the same steps which we did previously, but since we are going to change just the title, we can copy this column and we can paste it right here. So let's do it. Let's copy this column. Let's click copy, and let's paste it right here. All right, now we have 3 columns. So we can remove this column by clicking right button, and let's click delete. All right, so we have 2 columns which look identical, and all we have to do right now is just to change the background image by clicking right here. Let's go to style settings, and let's change this image. Let's set it to this one. Let's click insert media, and let's change the heading of this image. So right, this is how our homepage looks now, and it doesn't look too good because I don't really like there are no spaces in between elements. So we have 2 options how we can add spaces in between elements. We can click on this heading element right here, and we can go to advanced section, and we can change the margin settings. So as you can see, by changing these settings, we will add spaces. All right, we can do the same with the next section, which is student reviews. Let's click on advanced, and let's set the same margin as previously. So this is how it looks now. But as I mentioned you before, we have 2 ways how we can do this. We can achieve the same result by using other options. So we would have to go to element section, and let's select the spacer. So let's drag the spacer in between the elements right here, for example, and we can do adjustments to the spacer. All right, as you can see, we will add spaces in between elements. So right, once you have finished creating your homepage, everything seems fine. We can go ahead and click publish. All right, it says our page is live, and we can click right here and have a look. All right, so this is how our page looks now. And as you can see, it looks much better than the previous version of our homepage. But once we go to our homepage, let's click right here. The homepage is going to be the same. So to change the homepage from this one to our new, we would have to do some changes in settings section. So let's go to dashboard. And before we go and do some changes in this settings section, let's create another page which will be used for our blog post. So to create a new page for our blog post, all we have to do is just click right here, add new. and we will not be doing any settings adjustments with Elementor. We're just gonna create a blank page which is going to be called blog. So let's give a title to our page, and all we have to do is click publish. Let's go back to the list of our pages by clicking right here. And as you can see right now, we have two pages. This one is blog page and this one is home page. But we have to set these pages that this page is going to be used as our home page, the static page, and this page is going to be used for our blog post. So to do changes, we have to go to the settings section and let's click on reading section. So as you probably remember previously, I was telling you that we will come back to this section and we will do changes to it. So let's go right here and let's click a static page. So let's set our home page as our home page, and post page, let's select blog. So once you have done this, just click save changes, and now we can visit our website. Let's go right here, let's click visit site. So as you can see, this is how our home page looks now, and it looks much better. So it's completely up to you how you want to create your home page. I just wanted you to follow this lesson so you would understand how Elementor works and you would know how to use elements. Of course, to create your home page, you can use templates, and in other lessons for creating other pages, I will be using some of the templates. I will show you how you can edit them, and the goal of this lesson was to show you how to work with Elementor. Since you are a little bit more familiar with the Astra theme, you know how Elementor works, we can start talking about starter templates. So if you remember when I was talking about Astra theme, I showed you how to install a plugin which is called starter templates. And in this lesson, I'll show you how you can use them. But before we do that, I would like to explain you the main difference between posts and pages, because a lot of beginners make this mistake, and I wasn't an exception. I was kind of confused what is the main difference between blog posts and pages. So basically, pages are for static, timeless content. It could be such pages as about us, contact us, prices, it could be a blog page, and all similar pages as well. So basically, pages are for timeless content. If you need, you can edit them, but in most cases you will not do any major changes. And meanwhile, posts are for timely content, and they have publish date, are displayed in reverse chronological order on your blog page. So basically, when you are running a blog, you're going to have a lot of different blog posts in, let's say, different categories, but in most cases you will not have a lot of pages. Probably you'll have such pages as about us, homepage, contact us, and similar pages. So alright, so since now you know what is the main difference between blog posts and pages, we can go ahead and check the plugin which we installed previously. And to access it, you would have to go right here, appearance section, and click on starter templates. And as you can see right here, we have a huge list of templates. We have a lot of different templates, and we can choose from different sections like business, other, blog, or e-commerce. But I must warn you, if you will choose an e-commerce template, you will need a pro version of Elementor. So let's keep it as it is, and let's say you like this template. You would love to have a similar website. So all you have to do is just click on it, and right here, as you can see, we have different pages. So as I mentioned you before, pages are for static information, and as you can see, with this template, we get 5 pages. So we have a home page, we have about page, we have services page, we have projects page, and we have contact us page. So all of these pages were created using Elementor. So let's say we want to add a certain page to our WordPress website. You would have to select the page, and you would have to click right here, import contact template. And this template, this page would be imported right here in pages section, all pages, and right here you will be able to access it. But let's say if you're not sure if you want to use this page and you would like to check a live version of this page, so you would have to click right here, and once you click on it, we will go to a new tab, and you can check how this website would look. So this is the homepage, and this is how the homepage would look. You would be able to do any changes you want to, change the information, do layout adjustments, maybe delete some elements or add new elements. And let's check how contact us page looks. Alright, so this is how contact us page would look, and as you can see, it's a quite nice looking page, and you could easily use this page, this template for your own website. Of course, you can edit all the information. You can delete some of the fields, or you can even add some new fields. Alright, let's go back to our template section. Alright, so let's say you like the homepage and you would like to use a homepage for your website. So all you have to do is go right here, click import, and just wait a couple of seconds. And it says that this page was imported successfully, and we can click to view template. Alright, so as you can see, this is how it looks now. We would need to do some changes. As you can see, it doesn't look too good. It doesn't fit our style, but basically we have the same page as we saw in the template section. So let's go back to our dashboard and I will show you where this page was imported. So let's go to pages section and let's go to all pages. And as you can see, the home page was added right here, and it says that it's Elementor page. And yeah, this is how you can use templates. So basically this was the last lesson when I was explaining things to you, and in next lessons we will go ahead and start creating new pages. So of course I will show you how you can create a page from the scratch using Elementor, and I will show you how you can create a page using a template, how you can edit it, and how you can use it for your own website. So that's all you need to know about starter templates. In this lesson, you will learn how to create your Contact Us page, so our visitors will be able to send us message to our email inbox. Alright, so let's go to the dashboard, and to create our Contact Us page, we will use a plugin which is called WP Forms. This plugin, if you don't have it, you should go right here in plugin section, click add new, and look for this plugin. And instead of creating this page from the scratch, this time we will use Astra templates. So let's go to pages and let's click add new. Let's give a title, so let's name it Contact Us, and let's click edit with Elementor. Instead of using these elements, we will go right here and we will click on this option, and from this list we can choose our Contact Us page. So it's completely up to you what type of Contact Us page you want to create. Maybe you want to use some blogs. So right here in this section you will find various Contact Us forms. Once you go to the search and you enter contact. Alright, as you can see, we have quite a lot of different options available, but instead of using them, let's go back to pages section and let's choose, let's say, this template. And as you can see, we get 5 different pages which we can use for this newly created page. So let's use it contact, and let's click import template. Alright, as you can see, the template was imported successfully, and all we have to do right now is just to edit all these fields. So the Contact Us form is going to look something like this. We can keep it as it is. If you want, you can change the heading of this form, and if you need, you can change the contact information. You can delete the address field by clicking the right mouse button, and by clicking delete, you will delete it. And just like that, you can edit all the information right here. You can change the phone number, you can change the links of social media profiles. So to change them, you would have to click on this field, and in this section content, as you can see right here, we can add our URLs of our profiles. If you don't need a certain profile, you can remove it, and if you need to add a new item, just click right here and the new item will be added. All you have to do is just pick the icon. You should click right here, icon library, and here you'll find all available icons. So if you need, you can use search. Let's say let's look for Pinterest icon, let's add it, search, and right here we can add the link of our profile. So as you can see, this is how our contact form would look. Of course, if you want, you can change everything in this form. You can remove fields, you can change the images. So as you remember, when we were creating a homepage, we created a similar section, and if you want to change the image of this section, you would have to go right here, and as you probably remember, you can change the background and style section, and by clicking right here, you will be able to change the image. If you need, you can upload, or you can choose from media library. So I guess I'm just gonna choose the same image. Let's click insert media, and as you can see, the image is different now. And once you have finished doing changes, you think everything looks fine, you can publish this page, and we can click right here. And as you can see, this is how our contact page is going to look. So just like that, by using templates, you can save a lot of time. And instead of creating everything from the scratch, you can pick the template which you like the most, and you can edit it as much as you want. So by adding templates, you can create any page you want. You could even create a home page or any other page. So yeah, this is how you create your Contact Us page. The next page which we could add to our WordPress blog is About Us page. So just like the previous this time, instead of creating this page from the scratch, we can use templates, because you already know how to use Elementor, you know how to use elements, and basically you know how it works. So we can go to the dashboard. Let's click right here and let's click page, click add new. So just add a title to your page and let's click edit with Elementor. Alright, so just like the previous time, instead of using elements, let's click right here and we can choose the template which we want to use. So I guess I will use the same template just like the previous time, but this time I will choose about us page. And if you don't like the way this page looks, if you don't like the way this template looks, you can use any other template from the list, but I will use this one. Let's click right here and let's click about us page. Let's click import template, and just like that we basically created a new about us page. So the next thing which you have to do is just edit the text, add your own information. You can change the style of each element by clicking right here. We could even change the color of this dash. We would have to go to style settings and we can change basically everything. We can even delete some of the sections by clicking right here, or you can click the right mouse button and you would have to click right here delete. So yeah, this is how you can create a nice looking pages using Elementor. As you can see yourself, it's quite easy, and you can even add a home page for your website, but I wanted to show you how to create it from the scratch so you would know how to use Elementor, how these elements work. And once you have finished, if everything seems great, you can go right here and click publish. Instead of clicking have a look, we could go back to our WordPress dashboard by clicking right here and let's click exit to dashboard. So let's click on WordPress logo, and right here you can see the list of all our pages. So we have about us page, we have a blog page, we have contact us page, and we have home page. So as you can see, contact us, home, and about us page, they were created using Elementor, but other pages were not. So basically that's all you need to know, how to create your pages using Elementor. And in the next lesson I will show you how you can create or edit page without using Elementor, just with a WordPress text editor. And later on we will start working on the customization settings. I will show you how to add menus and all other things as well. In this lesson I will show you how you can customize your Astra theme. You have two ways how you can access customization options. You can go right here and select customize, or you can go to your WordPress dashboard, go to appearance section and select customize. As you can see, the first option is meant for upgrading your Astra theme. With the free version you don't have so many customization options available. So in this lesson I will be talking about the global settings, about header. We will not be doing any changes to this section. We will do some adjustments in blog section, sidebar, and I have another lesson for footer, so there's more things to talk about it. We will not be doing any changes in menus right now, and we will not change anything in widgets, because I will talk about widgets in another lesson as well. In homepage settings, as you can see, we have already set our homepage as home, the page which we created using Elementor. So this is our homepage, and as you remember, we created other page which we named blog, and we didn't do any changes to it. So this page is being used to display our blog post. Alright, let's go back, and in additional CSS settings we will not do any changes at all. So let's start with global settings and let's go to typography. So this section is all about fonts. We can change the font family of our website. So for example, if we would change it to other font, let's say to this one, as you can see, the font is different right now. So it's up to you. If you want to change the font family, you can adjust the size of the font and you can do other adjustments as well. So it's up to you if you want to do any changes right here, but I think my website looks good with a default font. So let's go back to default system font and let's go back, and in heading section, again, we can change the font of headings. So for example, if you would change the font family in this section, it would be applied for all headings from the first heading to the sixth heading. So for example, let's change it to Verdana, and as you can see, this font now is different. And for example, if we would go to our blog page, as you can see, this is the title of our blog which was added by default. And if we would go back to the previous font, let's go and select this one. As you can see, the font now is different. Right here you can change the font for each individual heading, so you can select different font for the first heading, for the second, but I believe there's no need to do any changes. Everything looks good by default. So let's go back and let's click back. So in color section, we can change the base colors. So right now theme color is set to blue. I would like to change it to an orange color. So all I have to do is just click right here and I will select this color. All right, I guess I will go back to my homepage. All right, so I'm just gonna change the theme color to a little bit darker orange, and we can change the link color. So again, I will use orange color, and I'm just gonna change it to a little bit darker color. And as you can see, it was changed right here. Now we have orange color. So yeah, it's up to you if you want to do any theme color changes, adjustments. So I'm just gonna change it to orange, and we can go back. Let's go back. In container settings, we can do some layout adjustments. We can change the layout of our website. So I highly recommend you to test all these options, all these settings, to see what fits your needs the best. But I will leave it as it is. I believe it looks quite good. So let's go back and let's click on buttons. So in buttons, basically you can change the color of buttons. You can even change the font of button, and you can do some spacing adjustments. But if you're not going to do any changes, the font is going to be used, which was set for global settings, and the color is going to be used from the global settings as well. I believe everything looks quite good. So we can go back. Let's go back to the beginning and let's click on header options. So let's start with the site identity. So we could add a logo for our website. Let's click right here. And since I have already uploaded my logo, I'm just gonna choose from media library. But if you need to upload one, you can click right here and add files. Let's go back to library. And I'm just gonna choose this logo. Let's click select. All we have to do is just crop an image. So yeah, everything looks fine. I'm just gonna click crop image, and as you can see, the logo was added right here. It's a little bit too large, so we can change the size of this logo by moving this button. It looks much better. And right now we don't really need this title in our header, so we can disable it by clicking this option. As well, we could add a site icon. So the site icon is going to be displayed right here. So for example, let's select site icon. Since I have already uploaded it, I'm just gonna select from the media library. All right, just gonna select it, and as you can see, it was added right here. All right, let's go back and let's do some changes to primary header. So in this section, we can change the layout of our header. As you can see right here, if I will click on the second option, our header would look something like this, but I will go back to the original layout. I think it looks quite good. You can change the width of this header. You can even change the layout in your mobile device. So for example, we can check how our website would look on a mobile device by clicking right here. And if we would do some changes in this section, as you can see, our header would look something like this on a mobile device. As well, we can check how it's going to look on tablet. All right, let's change it back and let's go back to desktop view. All right, so let's go back, and primary menu, we can select an item which is going to be displayed right here. So right now it's selected as search. You can add a button, you could add a text, you can change the link of this button, but I'm going to keep a search. And if you want, you can test all these other options as well. Don't be afraid to test things yourself, because this way you'll find what fits your needs the best. All right, so let's go back to other settings and let's click transparent header. So right now our header is not transparent, as you can see. And if we would check this option, enable on complete website, as you can see, our header would be transparent. So the problem is that our text is not being displayed properly and we cannot see anything. So we would have to go back to global settings and we would have to change the text color of header. But I believe I'm just gonna use non-transparent header. So let's go back and let's uncheck this option. All right, let's go back. So all right, we are not going to do any changes for this section. Let's go to blog options and let's click on blog archive. To be able to see applied settings, we would have to go to our blog page. So you would have to click on your blog page. As you can see, this is our blog, and right here we can do some adjustments. We could swap the featured image with a title. So right now, if we would have an image for this blog post, the image would be displayed above the header, and if we would swap those two elements, the header would be displayed above the image. But I'm just gonna keep it as it was before. I guess I'm just gonna remove author from our meta. All right, as you can see, my email just disappeared, and basically these are the most important settings. As well, you can change the font in this section. You can do other changes, but everything looks good as this right now. So let's go back and we can do some changes in single post. So again, the settings are very similar, but these settings would be applied for a single post. So for example, if we would click on this post and if we would do any changes, for example, let's enable offer, and as you can see, it would be displayed right here. Let's disable it and let's go back. Let's go back, and sidebar, we can do some changes for a sidebar. So the sidebar is this section. So basically, sidebar uses widgets, and widgets are small blocks of content which can be displayed in various places of your website, in this case in a sidebar. So I would recommend you to hide this sidebar from the pages, so we could disable it. And in later lessons I will show you how you can add widgets to your sidebar, and it's up to you if you want to use the sidebar, but I will show you how you can add various widgets. Let's say you can add some type of image, you could add an ad to the sidebar, or you could add the most popular posts or any similar information. But if you don't want to have this sidebar on your website, in any pages, in any blog posts, or in the page of your blog, you can disable it by going right here and clicking no sidebar. But I will show you how you can add widgets to this sidebar. So let's go back, and as I mentioned you before about other options including footer, menus and widgets, I will talk in another lessons. So basically that's all. This is how you customize your theme, and once you have finished doing changes, don't forget, go right here and click publish. So now we can close this section and we can go to our homepage, and let's see how our website looks now. So as you can see, now it looks much better. We have a logo right here, and basically it doesn't matter which theme you are planning to use. Maybe in the future you will decide to use other theme. All the customization settings are done in this section. So once you click customize, most of the themes have very similar customization options. Of course, if you have a free theme, you will not have so many customization options as if you would have with a paid version. So that's all. That's how you customize your theme. In this lesson, I will be talking about widgets. I will show you how you can add social media profiles to your WordPress website. As well, you will learn how to add social media share buttons to your content, so your visitors will be able to share your content to various social media platforms. Alright, before we start talking about widgets, I want you to go to your dashboard and we will install one plugin. So go to plugins, select add new, and search for a plugin which is called Sassy Social Share. Alright, so this is the plugin which we will be using. We will be using it to add social media profiles to widgets, and we will be using it to add share buttons to our content. Since I have already installed this plugin, all I have to do is just activate it. In your case, you should install it, and once the installation is complete, just activate it. So as you can see, this plugin was added to our control panel, and this is where all settings are done. So for example, let's go to our website and let's visit a blog post. Let's go to blog and let's click on it. Alright, as you can see, we have these social media share buttons, and we have these buttons as well. But I believe it doesn't look too good. We could remove some of these buttons. We could add the most popular ones, and we could add these buttons before and after the content as well. So let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to Sassy Social Share and let's click this option. Alright, so here you can choose the shape of these icons, but I will show you the most important settings. So let's go to standard interface, and as you can see, these are the buttons which will be shown. This is how they are going to look, and right here you can select the buttons which you want to appear in your content. I would recommend you to select the most popular ones such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Reddit. All other you can disable. And next thing, let's enable these share buttons at the bottom of our content. Let's click right here, and we can disable these buttons for our pages because we don't really need them to appear in pages section because they're not gonna do any help for us. So once you have done these settings, just click Save Changes, and let's go to floating interface. We can disable this floating interface since we have already activated share buttons before and after our content. So once you have done this, just click Save Changes, and let's go and check our blog post now. Let's go to blog and let's see how it looks. All right, so as you can see, this is how it looks, but the changes have not been applied, and sometimes it might happen. And if this happens, you should go right here. This is cache plugin. It was already installed by default with our hosting, and let's click purge all. All right, so the changes have been made, and as you can see, now we have share buttons before the content, and we have underneath the content. Of course, if you want, you can change this line, spread the love. You can change it share or something like that. By going to the same settings, you will find the field where you can change the name. So all right, now you know how to add share buttons to your content. We can go ahead and start talking about widgets. So basically, widgets are small blocks of content which can be displayed in various places. So we have a sidebar, and this sidebar is created using widgets. So as you can see, we have archives widget, categories, meta, and so on. So to do changes to this section, we would have to go to our dashboard. Let's click right here, and let's go in appearance section, and let's select widgets. Alright, so as you can see, this is the main sidebar, and these are all the widgets which are displayed as you saw before in our blog post. And basically we will be using this section and these 4 sections for our footer widgets. So since all of these widgets basically don't do any help for us, we can delete all of them. So once you click right here, you can delete any widget you want. Just like that, I'm going to delete all of these widgets, and now we don't have any widgets in our main sidebar. And to find widgets, you would have to go right here, and this is the list of all available widgets, as you can see. So it's completely up to you what type of widgets you want to use. Usually I use some images with links. So let's say I could add an image widget to our main sidebar. So let's do this. I'm not gonna give any title for this image. I'm just gonna select the image. For example, I will use this widget as some type of advertising for my course. So I have uploaded one image, and it's this one. So I'm just gonna add to widget, and I can add the link to a certain course or a certain page or any other link. In this case, I'm just gonna add the link of my Udemy course, and I'm just gonna click save. So we have added an image widget. Also, we could add, for example, maybe follow us icons. This widget came with a plugin which we installed previously, and as you can see, it's called Sassy Social Share. And we can add a title like follow us, and right here we can change the shape of our icons. And if you have any social media profiles, you could include all of these profiles in these boxes. So if you have any of them, you can add them here. But since I'm not going to add any of these URLs, I'm just gonna add hashtags. So once you have done adding your URLs, just click save. And the reason why I added hashtags, otherwise if I wouldn't add anything, it wouldn't display these profiles. So I'm just doing this for demonstration. So right, so we have 2 widgets in this area, and again, it's up to you what type of widgets you would like to use. In the past, I have used custom HTML widgets to add advertisement from Google AdSense. So for example, if you have Google AdSense account and you want to monetize your blog, you could include ads in this widget. You would have a custom code which you could include in this widget. So by pasting this code and saving this widget, Google would display ads on your website. So alright, we can remove this widget, and for this demonstration I'm just gonna use 2 widgets, and we will see how it looks. So as I said, widgets are small blocks of content which can be displayed in various places of your website. Since we are using Astra theme, as you can see, has 8 places where we can display these widgets. So we have main sidebar, we have header, we have footer bar, and we have these 4 other footer area widgets. So in this course we will be using this widget, and for our footer we will be using these 4 areas. And if you would use any other theme, you might not have so many places where you can display widgets, because not all themes have the same number of places where you can display them. Some themes have less, some themes have more, some themes which are free has less than paid versions, and so on. So right here on the left side you see all available widgets which you can use in various places. So since we have finished adding these 2 widgets to our main sidebar, we can go to our website and see how it looks. Let's go to our blog. Let's click on the blog section. And as you can see, this is how these two widgets would look. So as you can see, we have follow us buttons and we have an image, which basically is like some type of ad. If someone's gonna click on this image, they would go to that URL. But if you don't want to have any sidebar widgets on your website, you can easily disable them by going right here, customize, and in the sidebar section, you would have to click this option and select no sidebar. This way you will not have any sidebar widgets displayed, and you can click publish. All right, let's go back. So yeah, now you know what are widgets and how to add social media share buttons to your content. In this lesson, I will show you how you can create your footer. So this is the footer. This is the footer area, which can be used to display various information. So this is the first option. And this is the second option. As you can see, it has more information. So let's start by creating the first option. So to create a footer, which you saw in the first option, let's go to dashboard and we will go to appearance section and let's select menus. So basically we will create a menu for this footer. So let's give a title for menu. Let's call it footer and let's click create. In this menu, we can include important pages which we created previously. So to do this, we would have to go right here and click view all. So these are all pages which are on our website. So we could include privacy policy, about us page, and a contact us page. Just click add to menu. And as you can see, these all three pages were added to our menu. If you want, you can move them, change the places. And right now you have to select footer menu. So just click save menu. Let's go back. All right, let's scroll down. And as you can see, the footer is still the same. So we need to do some customization settings. So let's click customize. Let's go to footer section and let's select footer bar. So we can change the first section. Let's select footer menu, which we created previously. And now let's scroll down. And as you can see, our links are being displayed. As well, we could change the text, which is being displayed underneath our pages. So to change the text, you would have to go right here and we could delete powered by Astra. If you find by the way this menu looks, you can click publish and we can close the customization settings. Let's scroll down and this is how you create a simple looking footer. But let's say you are interested in the second option. So to create the second option, we would have to go again in customization settings. Let's go right here. Let's choose footer. And this time let's choose footer widgets. Let's click this one. Let's scroll down. And as you can see, now we have 4 different areas for our widgets. So all we have to do is just click publish. Let's go back. Let's go to WordPress dashboard. And before we go and do changes in our widgets section, I would like you to install another plugin. Let's go to plugin section. Let's click add new and type email subscribers. So this is the first option and you want to install it. Since I have already installed it, I have to activate it. And if you want, you can send a test campaign, but we don't really need to do this because we will be using this plugin for email subscriptions. Of course, we could use WordPress forms for the same thing, but we would have to get a pro version. So we would have to pay money for this plugin and we can do it for free by using this email subscribers plugin. So, all right, once you have installed this plugin and once you have activated, we can go to appearance section and let's select widgets. All right, so as like a previous time we added widgets to our sidebar, now we will be adding widgets to this footer area. So we have 4 different areas as you saw before. So in the first area, I guess I will include some information about our blog. So I would like to use a widget which is called text. So all I have to do is just drag this widget up and drop it right here. I will give a title and I will add some information. Alright, once you have finished adding information, just click save and we can close this widget. In the second widget, we could add important pages of our website just like we did in the first option. So to do this, we would have to use widget which is called pages. So just drag it right here. And we can add a title, but it's not enough because by default every single page will be displayed in this widget and we don't need every single page to be displayed right here. So we would like to exclude such pages as blog or home. So to exclude pages, we have to know the ID of a page. So how to find out the ID of page? Before we move on to pages, let's click save and let's go to pages. Let's open pages section in new tab. Alright, so this is the list of all pages and we want to exclude such page as blog and home. So to find out the ID, let's click with the right mouse button and open it in a new tab and let's do the same with home. So let's go to these links which we just opened. Alright, so this is our blog page. So this is the ID, which is 440, and the ID of our homepage is 435. So this is the ID. You want to copy the ID of this page and this page. So this is 440, and now we can go back to our widgets section, and all you have to do is just paste these IDs right here, separated by commas. Once you have finished, click Save. And the third area, we could include our social media profiles. So just like we did in our main sidebar, you want to look for sassy social share follow icons. So just drag it right here and give a title to this widget. Let's call it Follow Us. Let's change the icon shape to square and just add your profiles right here. So I'm just gonna add hashtags for demonstration. Once you have finished adding your URLs, click Save. Okay, we can close this widget and we can move on to the last widget. So in this widget, we can include our email subscription. So to do this, we would have to choose this widget, email subscribers. This widget was added right here once we installed this plugin. So let's give a title for our form. And as you can see, we can select form. So we only have one form, which was created by default, the first form, and we can click Save. So before we go and check how our footer looks now, I want to tell you where your email subscriptions will appear. So once a user subscribes to your newsletter, you will go to your email subscribers, and right here in audience, you will see names and emails. So if you need, you can export all the contacts and use them for your email marketing. So alright, let's go back to our homepage and let's see how our footer looks now. Let's scroll down, and it seems like we are facing the same issue. We have to clear cache, go right here and click Purge All. Alright, let's check now, and as you can see, this is how our footer looks now. It looks much better than the previous version, and the users can subscribe to our newsletter. They can check the important pages of our website, and they can find us on social media. By the way, as you can see, the space in between our footer and these two elements is extremely narrow. It doesn't look too good. So we would have to do some changes for this page, and to do changes we would have to use Elementor. So let's click Edit with Elementor. Let's scroll down, and all we have to do is just add a spacer. So just drag it right here and just change the size of this spacer. I guess it's going to be fine. Let's click Update. Let's go right here and let's click View Page. All right, let's scroll down. Okay, it seems like we have to purge the cache. So let's purge all and let's see how it looks now. Okay, it looks much better. So basically, this is how you can create your footer. You have two options. As you saw before, the first option is very simple and the second option has more information. So with the free version, you can only have this type of layout if you are going to use this option. So you can only have 4 areas for widgets. You cannot have 2 or 3. So yeah, this is how it's done. In this lesson, I will show you how you can create categories for your blog post and how you can use them to create your navigation menu, which will display them. So right now, as you can see, our main navigation menu is just showing all available pages, and we can change that. So let's go to the dashboard and let's start by creating some categories. So let's go to post section and let's select categories. And as you can see, by default, we are going to have one uncategorized category, which we should change to the one which we are planning to use. So since my website is going to be all about WordPress courses, I'm planning to have such category as WordPress. So I'm just gonna go right here and I'm going to click Edit. So all we have to do is just change the name and the slug. So for both name and slug, use the same title, and once you have finished doing changes, let's scroll down and let's click Update. Alright, let's go back to categories and let's add another one. I'm just gonna add name and the slug, and once you have finished adding name and the slug, just click Add New Category. So just like that, I will add some more categories. Alright, I just finished adding my main categories, and now we could add some child categories, let's say for WordPress or WooCommerce, and basically a child category is going to be a subcategory for our parent category. So for example, you could have the main category as shoes, and in that category you could have like basketball shoes, football shoes, or something similar. So let's start by adding name and slug for our parent category WordPress, and the name is going to be plugins. And once you have finished doing this, instead of adding new category, let's select parent category. So I want this category to be a subcategory for my main category WordPress. So I'm just gonna select WordPress and I'm going to click add new category. And as you can see, it shows that plugins is a child category for WordPress. So just like that, I'm gonna add some more child categories. So alright, next I would like to add a child category for WooCommerce. So right now, instead of choosing WordPress, I will choose WooCommerce, and I'm going to click add new category. And as you can see, Woo plugins was added to WooCommerce. And using the same technique, I'm gonna add another child category. Alright, I just finished adding all categories, and as you can see, this is how our tree of categories is going to look. So once we have our categories ready, we can go ahead and create a new menu for our top navigation menu. So to do this, you would have to go right here in appearance section, and let's select menus. As you can see right here, we have one menu ready because when I was showing you how to create footer from the first option, I added a new menu. So instead of deleting or renaming this menu, we could create a new by clicking right here and just give a name to our menu. We can call it main and click create menu. Basically, it's up to you what you want to include in your menu. Maybe you want to include pages, maybe you want to include categories, or maybe you want to include a combination of them. Or let's say you have some custom links which you would like to include in your menu. You can do this by going right here, adding your URL, and just add link text. But in this case, I will be creating my menu using categories. So I will go to category section and I'm just gonna click view all. So I will select all of them and I'm just gonna add them to menu. So as you can see, now these categories were listed on the same level. So that means my WooCommerce category lost its child categories Woo plugins and Woo themes, and the same happened with WordPress. It lost plugins and themes. So to add them back to parent categories, all we have to do is just to select these child categories and just move them slightly to the right and drop them. Let's do the same with this one, and let's do the same with plugins and themes. So if you like the way it looks, if you like the positioning, that's fine. But let's say if you want to change places, drop shipping and print on demand, all you have to do is just drag this underneath print on demand and just drop it. So you can do the same with every single category. So once you have finished doing changes, let's scroll down and let's select that we want to use this menu for our primary menu. So let's check this box and let's click save. Alright, now we can go to our website and let's see how it looks. Alright, so as you can see, our categories are now listed as our menu. So once we go to WooCommerce, we get like Woo plugins and Woo themes. Once we go to WordPress, we get the same child categories like plugins and themes. So this is how you create categories, and this is how you can use categories for your main menu. Of course, it's completely up to you what you want to include in your main navigation menu. But I think if you are creating a blog, it's a good idea to include some of the categories in your menu. So once we have created some categories and we have added them to our navigation menu, we can start creating some blog posts. So let's go ahead and add our first blog post. I just want to show you how WordPress text editor works. So let's go to post section and let's click add new. So from here you will be able to add a blog post, and as you can see right here, you should give a title for your blog post, and right here you will be able to add a content. But usually when I write blog posts, when I write content for my blogs, I like to write them in a text editor like Microsoft Office Word or like Google Docs, because it's much easier to write content in the text editors when it's like writing in WordPress text editor. And once you have finished writing text, just copy the whole text and paste it right here, and you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever, because the WordPress text editor recognizes there's like your paragraphs, headings, like listings, all these type of content is being recognized by WordPress, and it will be added in the content blocks. So I'm just gonna paste some content and I will walk you through the most important content blocks. So alright, as you can see, I finished adding content, and when I add blog posts, I usually use just a couple of content blocks. For example, I use paragraphs, I use headings, and I use images. That's all I use most of the time. Sometimes I use embed YouTube videos, and as you can see right here, this is how my blog post is going to look. And as you can see, this blog post was created using content blocks. So as you can see, this is a block of content and it's called paragraph block, and you can find these blocks right here. But as I mentioned you before, once you paste your content into WordPress text editor, it automatically recognizes which content block was pasted, and it automatically recognizes that it's a paragraph, it was a heading. Here we have another paragraph, and all I had to do is just do some layout adjustments. I added some spaces in between paragraphs and headings. As you can see right here, I added a space, and to add a space you would have to go right here in content blocks, and you would find this space block in layout elements right here, spacer. And as you can see right here, we have lots of different content blocks, and it's completely up to you what type of blocks you're planning to use. As I mentioned to you before, most of the time I only use paragraphs, headings, images, sometimes YouTube embed videos. And to find these blocks, you would have to look all through these content blocks, which are available right here. For example, if you want to add embed YouTube video, you would have to click right here, and just like that you can add a YouTube video, Facebook post, Instagram post, or a tweet from Twitter. So basically we have lots of different content blocks, and I highly recommend you to test them out yourself to see which you are planning to use yourself, because otherwise you're not going to learn much if you're not going to practice yourself. So I highly recommend you to test everything yourself to see how it works, and if you mess up something, don't worry, you can always start from the beginning. So like I said, for this blog post I used paragraphs. So as you can see right here, I used paragraphs, I used spaces. As you can see, you can also move each block by clicking right here, or you can move by dragging anywhere you want. And once you add spaces, for example, you can change the size of space, you can duplicate blocks. Once you click right here, you can click duplicate, and you will duplicate the content block, and you can delete it as well by clicking right here, remove block. So like I said, I used paragraph, I used some spacers, I used some headings. Right here you can even choose a different level of a heading, and right here we have some other paragraphs, and added an image. So to add an image you would have to go right here again and select an image block, just like that. Added some spaces as well. So as you can see, this block is a list block. It's very easy to add it, just go right here and you will find it. It's going to be called list, and I will show you what else I added. So as you can see, I added the image just like the previous image, added again some paragraphs, added a table with information by clicking right here. In formatting section, I selected table. So just look around, see what type of content blocks you might use. Like I said, most of the time I only use paragraphs, headings, images, sometimes embed YouTube videos, just like this one right here. So it's very simple, it's very easy to use. And in the past, the WordPress text editor used to be not so flexible, but nowadays it's extremely flexible, and you can easily create a nice looking blog post. So once you have finished adding content, we will go back to this SEO plugin later on. I will show you how to optimize your blog post with keywords, because there's like a lot of things to talk about it. So later on we will come back to this section, but for now it's important to know how to use content blocks, how to add content to your blog. And once you have finished adding your content, all you have to do is just go to document section, select your category. So obviously the category for this blog post is going to be dropshipping right here, and you should add a featured image for this blog post. So all you have to do is just click right here, and you should go to your media library, or you can upload images yourself by selecting from the file or dragging files in this section. So let's go back to media library and let's select our featured image. So I guess I'm gonna select this image. All right, and let's click select image. So once you have finished adding content, you can publish, or if you want, you can preview how it's going to look. So let's click on preview. And as you can see, this is how our blog post is going to look. So it has our featured image, it has our title. So we have some paragraphs, we have spaces in between paragraphs and headings, we have images, so we have a table, and we have embedded YouTube video. So just like that, you can add blog posts. So as I said, if you are satisfied the way this blog post look, we can go back to our WordPress text editor and we can click publish. In this lesson, I'll be talking about SEO, and it stands for Search Engine Optimization. So basically, we will be optimizing our blog posts so we would have better chances to appear in higher position of Google search results. But before we do that, we should go and do some changes to our SEO plugin, which we installed previously. So let's go right here and click on General tab. From here, we will go to Features, and let's start by disabling readability analysis, because we don't really need this plugin to keep us bugging with our readability score. In most cases, it doesn't do any help at all. So the next thing would be, let's disable text link counter, because otherwise this plugin will keep us bugging that we should include internal links to our content, and when you are starting your blog, you will not have any internal links whatsoever to include. So we can disable this option, and let's go and disable admin bar menu, because we don't really need this bar menu to be right here in this position, because we will not be using this plugin so often, so there's no need to have it. So once you have done doing this, just click Save Changes, and from here we can go to Search Appearance, because we will not be doing any changes right here. So let's go to Search Appearance, and right here you can add your blog name and you can upload your logo. Once you have done this, just click Save Changes, and let's go to Content Types. From here we will be doing some changes in the post section, so we can delete this section page, just delete it, and right now just go to Pages section, expand it, and we should add a meta description. So you want to type excerpt. So to do this, just type as you see on the right side, and it will be added automatically. So once you have done doing this, just click Save Changes, and we can go to Media section. Actually, in Media section we will not be doing any changes whatsoever, so we can go to another section. In Category section, in Meta Description, we will add the same word, so just type excerpt. So basically this function will add a short description of our category. It will use the text which is in the category. Let's go to the tag section, and we can disable tags because we want to avoid duplicate content. So just click No, and we can go to Format section, and let's do the same with the formats, because we want to avoid duplicate content. It's going to harm our SEO. So let's scroll down, and we can remove categories prefix, because we don't need this word category in our URL. It's not doing any help for us at all. So once you have done this, just click Save Changes, and we can go to Archive section. So this is the last section to which we will be doing any changes. So as you can see right here, let's disable this Offer Archives, because we want to avoid duplicate content, and it will not do any help for our search engine optimization. And let's do the same right here. Let's disable it, and once you have done this, just click Save Changes. To other these two sections, we will not be doing changes at all. We can move on to Social tab. In Social section, just add your social media profiles, and once you have done this, just hit Save. And to all these other sections, we will not be doing any changes at all. So once you have finished doing all these changes, we can go ahead and start optimizing our blog post with keywords. And as you can see, I have added some posts. Some of these posts are demo content, and here you will see the last blog post which I added when I was showing you how to add your first blog post. So I'm just gonna click on Edit. So as you can see, this is the blog post which I created previously, and I want to optimize this blog post for keyword dropshipping. So once someone decides to look something about dropshipping, and that person gonna enter a keyword, or let's say a key phrase dropshipping, I want my blog post to appear in Google searches. So that's the point of optimizing your content with keywords. Basically, keywords are phrases which users use to look for information in Google. So you have used Google in the past, you know how it works. It's not enough just to write content, you must know how to optimize it with keywords. Otherwise, people will not be able to find your blog post. So as you can see, this blog post is optimized with the keyword dropshipping. And as you can see, this keyword is mentioned in the title. It's mentioned in various places of different paragraphs. It's mentioned in headings as well. It's mentioned in listings. I have mentioned this keyword all over the text because I want Google to know that this blog post is all about dropshipping. As well, I have done the same with images. So once you're adding an image, for example, when you are adding images, for this example, I'm just gonna go right here and I'm gonna click on this image. So I would access media library. So as you can see, I have added 2 images in the blog post and I have selected selected one featured image for this blog post. And as you can see, all of these images have their title and alternative text. So basically the title is just the title of that image, and alternative text is being displayed when the image fails to load for the user. So in best case scenario, you would like to describe your image in alternative text, but I highly recommend you to use your keyword in alternative text and in the titles, because you want your images rank as well in search results. So it's going to help to rank your blog posts and images. So as you can see, in every single photo I have mentioned dropshipping. I didn't use the same phrase, I didn't use the same titles in each image because it's not a good practice. You should do some changes, just mix it up. You don't want to overuse that keyword, and you don't want to make your text, titles, alternative text sound like a nonsense. So as you can see, alternative text and the titles of my images are optimized with keyword. So let's go back to our blog post. So like I said, this image is optimized with the keyword dropshipping, and this keyword is used all over the text. Once you have done this, we will do some changes to our SEO plugin section. So once you scroll down to the bottom, you will see your SEO plugin settings. So right here you will see how your blog post is going to look in Google search results, in the mobile results, and in the desktop results. So as you can see, it's going to look like this. So it has our title, our keyword is mentioned in our title, and we should add a description, and description should include our main keyword as well. So to add description, meta description to this snippet, you would have to click right here, edit snippet, and let's add meta description. So as you can see, I just finished adding meta description, and as you can see, I have used my keyword dropshipping in this description as well. And this green bar shows that you have added a good amount of text. You don't want to add too much text, otherwise it's not going to be displayed right here. And you don't want to add just a little of text, because you want to use as much space in Google search results as possible, because it's your moment to stand out from other search results, from other competitors. So try adding as much text as possible, and don't forget to use your main keyword in the meta description as well. So once you have done these steps, we can actually check our content, our blog post, to see how well it's optimized with a keyword dropshipping. And to do this, you would have to go right here, and you'll have to enter your focus key phrase, or in other words, your keyword. So in this case, my keyword is going to be dropshipping, and as you can see, we got a green badge. It means that our content is optimized well, and we have good chances to appear in Google search results in a higher position. Of course, there are more factors involved in the rankings of Google search results, but when you are a beginner, the most important thing is to learn how to optimize your text with the keywords. As well, we will do some changes in social media section. Let's go right here, and let's go to Facebook section. So basically in Facebook section, all you have to do is just add the same title and the same description as we added right here. As you can see, this is our title and this is our description. So just add the same description and title in these fields, and just add the image, which will be displayed once somebody shares your blog post on Facebook. So you can use the same image as we used for our featured image. And once you have finished doing this, we can go to Twitter section and just do the same, add the same title, add the same description, and add the image. So once you have finished doing this, you can go and publish your blog post. So this is how you optimize your blog post with keywords. And right now I will show you what tools I use and what tools I recommend you to use to do a simple keyword research, so you will know how well these keywords are performing. You will know how many monthly searches they are getting, and if it is very difficult to rank these keywords organically. So the first tool which I like to use for keyword research is a free Google Chrome extension which is called Surfer. So you can look it up in the Google, and this is how it's called, Surfer, and you can add it to your Chrome browser. So once you have added this tool will show you how many monthly searches a certain keyword is getting. So for example, our keyword dropshipping, as you can see in the United States, is getting over 90,000 monthly searches. So it's quite a lot, and probably it means that this keyword is quite competitive, and it might be quite difficult to rank this keyword. And on the right side, you can see some other keyword suggestions, some similar keywords which go together with this main keyword dropshipping. dropshipping. And when we are talking about keywords, it doesn't necessarily need to be a keyword made out of one word. It can be made out of couple words like AliExpress dropshipping, or let's say WooCommerce dropshipping, or any different type of keyword. It doesn't need to be just a single word. It can be multiple words and it can be your keyword. So basically it's a key phrase which is being used in your text, so Google could recognize that your blog post is all about that keyword, because the goal of Google is to show the most relevant content to their users. So that's why you want to optimize your blog post with keywords. So alright, this tool Surfer as well shows you how many words a certain blog post, let's say your competitor, has written, and how many times this keyword has been mentioned in that blog post. So these first results are ads. As you can see, it says ad. Let's scroll down. So as you can see, there's a blog post, The Ultimate Guide to Dropshipping, which was published by Shopify. And as you can see here, it says that this blog post has over 1000 words and the keyword dropshipping was mentioned 24 times. By doing this type of research, you can understand how many words you have to write and probably how many times you can mention this keyword if you want to rank your blog post. So it's like a nice to know how many words you should write. So obviously the best case scenario is that you want to write more words, and you don't want to go over the top and start using your main keyword dropshipping over and over again. You want to make your blog post to sound naturally, and you don't want to make it look like a nonsense. Alright, so as I said, this Surfer tool lets you to check how many monthly searches a certain keyword is getting. As well, you will get some keyword suggestions, and as well right here it shows the estimated monthly traffic for that domain in United States. So the next tool which I'm going to show you is called Ubersuggest. So right here it is. This is the Ubersuggest tool which I usually use. It shows the similar information just like the Surfer. As you can see, it shows the same search volume as the Surfer did. So obviously this keyword is getting over 90,000 monthly searches, and as well it shows what is SEO difficulty. So as you can see, SEO difficulty is 76. So 76 out of 100. That means it's pretty difficult to rank this keyword, only optimizing your content with the keywords. And once you scroll down, you will see some keyword suggestions like keyword ideas. So of course this tool is a paid, but with a free version you can do a very simple keyword research, so you would have a better understanding how well this keyword is performing. So in keyword ideas we are getting some nice keyword suggestions. As you can see, dropshipping keyword is quite competitive and it's very difficult to rank, but dropshipping suppliers, it's less competitive and it's easier to rank, but the search volume is lower. And just like that, you can get some ideas, the content ideas, keyword ideas, by using these tools. Also, once you scroll down, you will see some of the best performing blog posts which rank for this keyword dropshipping. Basically, by using these tools you can do a very simple keyword research, so you would know how popular these keywords are and how competitive they are. In this lesson, I will show you how you can add your website to Google Search Console. So you will be able to see which keywords bring you the most traffic, which position they are ranking. Also, you will be able to check which websites are linking to your blog or website, and Google will inform you about errors which are happening on your website, so you could fix them. And also you will see other settings as well. So to add your website to Google Search Console, first of all, you have to look for Google Search Console. So enter in Google and click on the first link. Just set up your account, and once you have finished setting up your account, you should see this window. So you have to enter your domain name in this section. Once you have done this, just click continue, and now you have to verify your website. So we have to add this code, this alt code, in our DNS management of our domain name. So we have to go to Hostinger, and once you sign into your Hostinger account, we should go to domain section and just select your domain and click manage. It doesn't matter where you registered your domain name, the procedure is going to be the same. You will have to go to DNS Zone Manager. So in this case, it's called DNS Zone. Click right here. And we will have to add a text section in this area. So we should click Add New, enter host ETA, and paste the value which we copied previously. And TTL, it's time to load. We can leave it as it is. And once you have done, click Save. And you should get a message that DNS record was created successfully. It might take some time, usually up to 1 hour, for these settings to propagate, but we can go back to our Search Console. and we can click verify. So alright, we got this message that ownership verification failed. That means we should wait a little bit more. Alright, let's click verify one more time. And once you have waited some time, after you click verify, you should get this message that the ownership was verified. And now once it's done, we can go to our property. If you want, you can check the instructions. You can see what each tool is meant for, but I will show you everything myself. So we can close this window. Alright, so first things first, once we have claimed our property, we have to submit the sitemap of our website. So to do this, we have to go right here in sitemaps, and we will have to add our sitemap. So to find the URL of our sitemap, we should go back to our WordPress website. Let's go to dashboard, and let's go to our SEO plugin, and let's click on general tab. Let's go to features section, and right here in this section, XML sitemaps, let's click on this question icon, and let's click on see the XML sitemap. And this is our sitemap. So all you want to do right now is just copy the URL of this sitemap. So just copy it, and let's go back to our Google Search Console. And let's paste this URL in this section. So once you click on sitemaps, you will get this window, and just paste that URL and click submit. So you should get this message that the sitemap was submitted successfully. So just click got it. And now I will show you around the Google Search Console. So let's go to overview, and right here you will see how your website is performing in Google search. So you will get information in this section. You will see how many clicks you're getting. You will be able to see what errors you're getting. And if you're gonna get any type of error, you'll get a message right here with a notification of a certain error, and you will get some kind of guide of tutorial how you can fix this issue. And performance section, right here you will be able to track the clicks, the keywords which bring you the most traffic to your website. As well, you will be able to see the impressions, how many impressions you are getting, the average position of a certain keyword. So here you will see all the data, and right here you will see keywords and all other information. So you can check the pages, which pages are bringing you the most traffic, countries, devices, and all other information as well. In coverage section, you will see all the errors which Google found on your website, so you will be able to fix them. So in sitemaps, we submitted our sitemap, and this section is not very important. And in speed tab, you will see the speed recommendations, which pages are performing better than others, which needs some kind of attention, needs to be improved. In mobile usability, you will see as well some errors. If your website, blog posts, pages are mobile friendly, and in site link search box, it's not very important. And in links section, you will be able to check the websites which are linking to your website. So basically you will be able to see backlinks and how many of them you are getting, and you will be able to see which pages are being linked the most and so on. So if you want to have a successful blog, you should use Google Search Console, so you could see what errors you're getting. You could track the keywords, you will see how well they are performing. So this is how you add your website to Google Search Console. And if you have registered your domain somewhere else, the procedure is basically the same. All you have to do is just add text element in your DNS management settings. In this lesson, we will be adding our website to Google Analytics, so we could track all the visits coming from the various places. We will be able to see where traffic is coming from, if it's coming from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any other source. We will be able to see how much time people are spending on our website on a certain pages, what is the bounce rate. As well, we will be able to see how many live users we have on our website at the moment, and all other information which is associated to traffic which is coming to your website. So if you want to have a successful website, it doesn't matter if it's going to be blog, e-commerce store, or any other type of website, you must have Google Analytics. Otherwise, you will not be able to track the traffic which is coming to your website, and you will not be able to make some kind of conclusions which pages are performing well or which are performing worse. So to install Google Analytics, you want to look for Google Analytics. So once you have found this, just click on it. So you will be asked to create an account. So once you have created your account, you have added information, you should be seeing similar window to this. Of course, you might not be seeing anything like that because you have not added any properties yet. So you should go to admin section right here and you should see something like this. So once you are here, you should click create an account and just add account name. So you can add the name of your website. Once you have done this, just scroll to the bottom and click next. Select web, click next and enter your website name. Just paste the URL of your website, select your industry and choose time zone. So choose your time zone. Once you have done this, just click create. So you'll have to accept these terms and conditions. Click accept and let's click here. And right here you will get your code. So your tracking code is right here and you want to copy this code. So just copy this code. And now we should go back to our WordPress website. Let's go to dashboard and from here we will have to install one plugin. So let's go to plugins, click add new and in the search bar type analytics. As you can see, there are plenty of plugins available which can help you track visits to your website, but I'm going to show you one plugin which I use myself. So you want to install this plugin, GA Google Analytics. So just install it and activate it. So alright, once you have installed this plugin, we should go to settings section and right here you should see Google Analytics. Click on it and all you have to do is just click plugin settings, and in this section we have to paste our tracking ID which we copied previously. Just paste it and select global site tag. All right, once you have done this, just click save changes, and before we go back to Google Analytics, you can purge the cache. Once you hover right here, just click purge all and let's go back to Google Analytics. All right, so this is where we left and now we can go to homepage of Google Analytics. Once you click right here, so as you can see, we are getting live data. We have one active user, so that one active user is me. Of course, we can do some changes and disable tracking for ourselves. But before we do this, I just want to walk you through some of the most important sections. In this section, you will see the live users. So as you can see, right now we have one live user and you can check more data in real time once you click right here and you click overview. So we are getting more information and we can see which page has active users. You can see where they are coming from. So as you can see, it's being displayed in the map. You can check the locations. So in audience section, you will be able to see your users, the traffic, how many sessions you had, what is the average time spent on your website. And as you can see, you will see the language, the country, the city where your visitors are coming from. When you are starting out, you should explore analytics yourself to see how it works. When I use Google Analytics, there are a lot of different data elements which I use myself. Since I run an e-commerce store, there are more information which is relevant to me. But if you are running a blog, let's say, you can check the pages which are bringing you the most traffic. And to do this, you would have to go to acquisition, click all traffic, click channels, and once you're here, you will be able to see where the traffic is coming from. In this section, it's going to show you organic traffic, social media traffic, referral traffic, direct traffic. So once you click on, let's say, on the social media traffic, it's going to show you more information in depth. So you will be able to see if this traffic is coming from Facebook, if it's coming from Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, or any other source. So yeah, you'll be able to check where the traffic is coming from. As well, you will see how many users you got, how much time they spent on your website, and by selecting the secondary dimensions, you'll be able to see more information. For example, in commonly used, you can click on the landing page and you'll be able to see which page is bringing you the most traffic from a certain source, if it's organic, if it's social media, and if it's a social media, you'll be able to check which social platform is bringing you the most traffic. So you will be able to see all these settings right here. And once you click right here, you can go to users, and let's say you can select age, browser, country, city, or any other secondary dimension, and you will be able to see traffic which is coming to your website by the country, by the age, or any other secondary dimension. And once you are in the home section, as I said before, right here, you will be able to see live users. In this section, you will get the summary of the last 7 days. You can change to any other time frame. In this section, you will be able to see how much traffic you are getting by the day. So it's going to be displayed right here. and where this traffic is coming from, if it's coming from organic sources, if it's coming from social media, direct visits, if you are getting direct visits or any other. In this section you will see which country is bringing you the most traffic. In this section you will see users by the time of the day, so at what time of the day you are getting the most traffic. So right now we don't see any information because it's a new website, but once you will start getting traffic, you will be able to check all the information, and don't be afraid, explore everything yourself and just check what information is the most relevant to you. So like I said, we can also disable tracking for ourselves. So to do this, we would have to go back to our dashboard, and let's go to settings section and let's click Google Analytics. So plugin settings. And if you don't want to be tracked with analytics, you would have to go down to the bottom and you would have to click disable tracking of admin level users. So click right here and just click save. From now on, your visits will not be tracked on Google Analytics, and it's good because you will know the real traffic which is coming to your website. So this is how you add your website to Google Analytics. And if you would like to learn more about Google Analytics, I highly recommend you to go Google Analytics Academy, where you will be able to learn way more about analytics in depth by taking free courses. As you can see, there's a lot of information about analytics which you can learn for free. So if you are interested in, I highly recommend you to go to Google Analytics Academy to learn more about it.